train?
It was thrilling. I'm hoping for an encore. Perhaps in Cairo.
Mr. Kreutzer possesses impressive technique, don't you think?
He certainly does. His numerous playmates in Austria can tell you more about it than I.
You mean Mr. Kreutzer is a womanizer?
I'm not talking about cheap skirts. I'm talking about expensive clothes. A man like him needs funds to support his lifestyle. Just go over to him, my dear. Tell the maestro that your family is wealthy. You have everything he's looking for. Money and a pretty face.
Hold your tongue. Mr. Kreutzer, Lady Westmacott, please.
Or did you have your eye on me, Mr. Kreutzer? Old, yes, but rich.
Jezebel. Mr. Kreutzer, Maestro.
That's better. Freeloader.
You and Mr. Kreutzer, you seem to know each other.
Not really, but I know his type. Parasites who cling to the rich and famous and suck them dry. The young, misunderstood painter. The innovative writer who writes books that no one wants to read. The musical talent that has to be supported. The ladies and gentlemen of high society let the others use them and call themselves patrons. Another word for fool.
Didn't you finance archaeological excavations in the Near East and Egypt?
For my husband, and I was there myself. I catalogued items for him, and I didn't show him off like a trophy at cocktail parties, but my son was one of them, the worst kind. The kind that sucks not only the money, but also the life right out of a person.
May I take my leave?
You may.
Wooden salad tongs, just small enough to carry around unseen. Ah, lovely big towel. I hope tomorrow I'll have a chance to sunbathe. A deck chair in the sunshine on a cruise ship. I'd be a fool to miss out on that tomorrow, but I have to take care of my duties before I can relax in the sun. A handsome man and a talented musician, but he doesn't seem very happy. Hello, Mr. Kreutzer.
Do you want to have a go at me, like the old witch in there?
I just wanted to talk to you.
Now is not the best time.
I just wanted to tell you that I really loved your music, and that Lady Westmacott did not have the right to speak to you like that.
Really? How do you know? You don't know me.
Then, did she have the right?
No, she didn't. That cynical old witch enjoys exposing the weaknesses of others, although we all have them. She as well. She lusts for recognition and acts as though it weren't so disgraceful. She rejects prizes and awards with snide remarks, but she's angry when others receive them. She needs to know that she's better than others.
You seem to know her quite well.
I've only met her once or twice, but I know her son and some of her friends. One friend of hers supported me for a long time. No one is brave enough to say it to her face, but everyone hates her.
Her or her success? You're so talented. Why aren't you performing on the world's great stages?
Fate, perhaps. Or bad luck. My parents opened every door for me and my sister and expected corresponding careers.
Overambitious parents who force their children to play music?
No, it wasn't like that. I loved it. I loved to play the violin. They didn't have to force me. I wanted to do it on my own. I thought I would achieve my goals if only I worked hard enough. But it was not to be.
What happened?
In a more dramatic story, I'd say that I broke my hand just before my big break, or that I was rejected because of my nationality or my name, or that I was brought down by a conspiracy. But nothing like that ever happened. I practiced like mad. I got better and better. Really good. But nothing happened. The right people never heard me. I was never in the right place at the right time. Can you imagine how it feels to always be on the cusp of a breakthrough? To be just one evening away from becoming an overnight sensation? To see how other...
How?
For every... I didn't want to be one of... If I could...
The next best life.
Mansions, limousines, parties. Everything you could wish for. Though none of it belongs to me.
The lady called you a freeloader.
An ugly word. But maybe not so far from the truth. I move with the rich and famous, and at first glance, I live exactly the life my father always wished for me. A carefree life, easygoing. And I...
But it's not...
It's... My life is just a... The violin is just...
And you're...
How could I ever look them in the...
What does the future hold for you?
Isn't it obvious? My hands are starting to shake from... I'll have...
You can't...
With my father's... It...
Don't you...
No.
I don't know.
Thank you.
Goodbye. The penny fits perfectly into the screw slot, but my fingers aren't strong enough to turn the screw. That's it. I can jam the Right. That's it. I just hope that this... I could tie the bath towel around the pole, but the pole sounds like a plan. Here goes nothing.
Ah, Jakob Aust. I finally got you. I'll have them arrest you and justice will be done.
Can I be of assistance, madam?
Yes, you can get out of the way.
Shall I tidy up, madam?
No! It's time to celebrate.
Excellent. The coast is clear. Far. But Inch said so. No, No. Inch said he can't be certain. Impressive. For gin, whiskey, liqueur, sherry, vodka, brandy, and champagne. I wonder what... What's that? Aha. Nefertiti. This could be a memory aid for the Baroness. And it would explain how Inch discovered the combination. I'm going to copy the hints. As I see it, I have to decipher these clues to find 3 of the symbols. Well, to me it looks like a combination lock. A good one, too. The door only opens when the right symbols are in place. It seems like she was searching for a specific Jakob Aus. We got our hands on the list of passengers, but I don't recognize the name. The mannequin could probably wear my clothes. It'd disappear under the Baroness's... Hundreds of... I'd prefer to lock the door. But it's important. I must hurry. No. That was close. Maybe it was whoever it was. I should leave as fast as possible before someone... What on earth? I don't like that. Is someone else after? But even if that is the case, what does the audio tape have to do with it? I can't let it get to me. I have a job to do. A deal?
In the shower.
I found the secret.
Oh, brilliant.
I'm working. It seems like Dr. Gebb. And why? Dr. Gebhardt! Getting some fresh air?
Oh, you could say that.
Do you know the Egyptian queen, Nefertiti?
Yes. There is a famous bust of her.
Really? Tell me more.
No, I am sorry. I do not have time for that.
Does Guernica mean anything to you?
Now listen, young lady, I do not know what they told you, but
Crimes?
we obeyed orders, just like everybody else. Now leave me alone.
Do you know what the monogram AD stands for?
What?
A capital A with a small d below it.
Yes, I do. Will you leave me alone if I tell you what it means?
You know.
It is not just any monogram. It is the first. Albrecht Dürer, a German artist, signed all his works with it. He was the first artist to sign all of his work with a monogram. It was not common to do so before then.
Are you sure?
His wooden engravings were, and still are, printed billions of times in Germany.
Billions of times. You're exaggerating.
Not at all. His work appears on German marks.
And what?
That's enough. I told you what you wanted to know. Please, leave me alone now.
A deal?
Yes?
I almost got caught in the Baroness's cabin.
What happened?
I don't know. A man came in and I just had time to hide under the bed.
Maybe it was a steward who came to clean the cabin?
And turn on a tape recorder in the cupboard?
Huh. Maybe it was Inch. He wanted some music?
There was nothing on the tape. It was playing, but I didn't hear anything. Something is rotten here.
Don't bother your pretty little head about it. Swap the eye and hurry back. I've got a surprise for you.
I don't think your surprise will really surprise me. The secret compartment is secured with a combination lock.
Is there any way in?
Not without leaving evidence. I need the combination.
Huh. Are there any hints?
A memory aid consisting of several works of art. There are animals on the lock.
The works of art might hint at specific animals.
Yes, I think so too. About the combination.
Yes?
Does Nefertiti mean anything to you?
An Egyptian queen?
That's it?
I didn't have an affair with her, if that's what you mean. She's not my type, and she's been dead for thousands of years.
Well then, I'll take your word for it. Guernica. Sounds Spanish, doesn't it?
Yes, it's a city in the Basque region.
Does it have a heraldic animal? Or maybe the region has one?
I don't know. I've never been there. I just know it because the city was bombed by the Nazis during the Spanish Civil War.
Nazis? In the Spanish Civil War?
Oh, not officially, of course. At the request of General Franco, his friends from Germany reduced a defenseless city to ashes and rubble. Picasso immortalized the bombing in his famous painting.
Really? Is it on display in Spain?
Silly. As long as Franco is in charge, he won't allow that.
Where is it?
Oh, no idea. Paris, maybe? Picasso lived there for a long time.
Maybe doesn't help me much. Buonarroti's Adam. Who's that?
Buonarroti, seems familiar somehow.
To me as well, but I don't know why.
No, I have no idea. I don't know him.
Someone must. I'll be going. Don't waste all the hot water.
Never.
Maybe the art magazine will help me with the symbols. Indeed. An article about the different works of art and how they survived the Second World War. And there's also a picture of the bust of Nefertiti. The unique Egyptian work of art was 1913. Permission to export to Germany. Second World War. Safe at the Reich Bank. Then a bunker. And then a salt mine. Prevented from shipping the bust to the United States. Back in Berlin since 1956. Very glad. Blah, blah, blah. soon in the Egyptian Museum of Berlin, and hopefully someday in a reunified Berlin on the museum island. Okay, so the bust of Nefertiti is located in Berlin. Berlin. Berlin! The bear! The Berlin bear! There's a bear on Berlin's coat of arms. Nefertiti, bear. That's it! I have to find out where the other works of art are located and which animals are associated with those cities. Now I know what to look for. It'll be child's play. The Baroness seems to have a reason to celebrate. The less, although... He's sweating. I hope the... Hello, Captain DeCanti.
Miss Myers, how nice to see you. You look beautiful. We missed you at dinner.
I was in my cabin. I didn't feel very well.
Oh, I hope you're feeling better.
Lovely concert, wasn't it?
You only heard the end. It was really wonderful.
All the more curious that Lady Westmacott embarrassed Mr. Kreutzer like that, don't you think?
I have no idea what got into her. They say she's a difficult person, but maybe it's the privilege of famous people to be a bit strange from time to time. When I was still a young sailor, Enrico Caruso was a passenger on our ship, and he...
I think she's fascinating. She's achieved so much, and all by herself.
Lady Westmacott, oh yes, that's true. The most successful writer in the world.
Do you know any more about her?
Everything. I'm her biggest fan. What do you want to know?
Where is she from? Who were her parents?
Her father was a wealthy British salesman. Her mother died in childbirth. She had an outstanding education, but was a lonely child, they say. Her father was away on business most of the time.
I know how she feels. For many years, my father's career was also more important than me.
Don't say that, my child. Your father paid for the life you now live.
Did Lady Westmacott's father marry again?
Yes, a woman 15 years his junior. She didn't really care for the child. She was something of a high society lady. She made the headlines with her antics more often than the family would have liked.
And her novels. How did she come to be a writer?
In interviews, she always mentions her French tutor, who encouraged her to write when she was a child. After some poems and short stories, she began to write detective novels with great success. The rest is history. The experts are arguing whether she or Shakespeare has sold more books.
Although she doesn't receive the same deference.
That's true. But her books are much more innovative and extraordinary than people generally give her credit for.
And what does an elderly lady like her want in Egypt?
I couldn't really say. She was there many times with her husband, an archaeologist. He died a long time ago.
I heard something about a reception at the Egyptian Museum?
Yes, for the eyes of the Sphinx. Or rather, for the eye. But I don't think she'd go to Cairo just for that. She usually stays away from official events. Didn't participate in the literary scene either. Always stayed as far away as possible from high society. Probably because of her stepmother.
Is it true that you're a war hero?
Mm-hmm. In 2 world wars. That tells you how old I must be.
You're as old as you feel.
Oh God, I hope not.
Aren't you feeling well?
You shouldn't burden your pretty little head with the dark thoughts of an old man, my dear.
If you don't feel well, maybe you should take it easy.
I'm afraid if I take it easy, it'll kill me.
You seem to be a pessimist.
Fatty liver, asthma, gallstones, jaundice, gout, shingles, hemorrhoids, varicose veins, circulatory trouble, knee problems, pulmonary embolism, gastritis, migraine, neuralgia, tinnitus, rheumatism, pleurisy, thrombosis, and constipation. Those are what's been diagnosed so far. My body is a curse.
Oh, I didn't mean to... I'm sorry.
Forgive an old man. I didn't mean to shock you.
You're still the captain of this beautiful ship.
They couldn't just get rid of me, so they stuck me somewhere where I can't make trouble anymore.
Don't say that.
This ship runs fine without me. The crew knows what to do. They don't need me. They don't want me.
Captain!
I'm sorry. I don't know why I'm burdening you with all of this. Forgive me, eh? I'd like to rest for a while. Soon enough, it'll be time to head back to the coalface.
Captain DeConti?
Yes?
Do you know Albrecht Dürer?
Yes. An artist. Not bad. But he has his weaknesses as well.
For example?
For one, he wasn't Italian.
That's a pity.
You can say that again. At least he lived in Italy for a while.
What else can you tell me about him?
I once overheard an argument on board between a German and a Spaniard about who elevated the woodcut to an art form, Albrecht Dürer or Alberto Durero. Eventually, they realized they were talking about the same man. Ha!
Albrecht Dürer is called Alberto Durero in Spain?
That's right. Don't ask me why.
Buonarroti. That sounds Italian, doesn't it?
Ha! You can say that again. Buonarroti is the name of the greatest artist of all time, Michelangelo Buonarroti, who most people only know by his first name. Just imagine, one man, an Italian, achieves perfection in all three movements of graphic arts. His David is the most famous statue in the world. As an architect, he was a genius. He built parts of St. Peter's Basilica.
And as a painter, Michelangelo painted the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel.
The creation of Adam. The spark of life leaps from God to Adam. One of the most famous paintings in the world.
Yes, it is. Does Vatican City have an animal on its coat of arms?
No.
And the Pope?
Every pope has his own emblem, but the new one doesn't have an animal.
You don't seem to like the new Pope.
It's too early to say. But who's fit to hold a candle to John the 23rd? Il Papa Buono, as we used to call him. The good Pope.
He just died recently. What was his heraldic animal?
He was a lion, and so was his heraldic animal.
For a Catholic, Buonarroti's Adam could be a mnemonic for the lion. Pope John XXIII was elected in the Sistine Chapel like every other pope. I just need one more animal. I'm gonna go have a look around.
All right.
Lady Westmacott?
Yes.
It must be exciting to meet all the world's famous and powerful people.
I stay away as far as possible from high society. Too shallow. Too boring.
But some of them must be exciting. Have you ever met Picasso?
They told him he's a genius so often that he actually started to believe it himself.
But his paintings are impressive. Guernica, for example.
Well, it certainly is big. I have to give him that.
Didn't he have to flee from Spain?
Yes, from the fascists, but not just him. Many of his paintings as well. If I remember correctly, Guernica is currently on display in the Museum of Modern Art in New York. He bequeathed it to a future Spanish republic.
And until then it stays in New York?
Yes. It's been there for years now.
Have you you ever been to New York?
For the love of God, what would I do there? We have the original York in England. That's quite enough for me.
So, you don't know the heraldic animal of New York?
No, probably an eagle. It's all eagles over there.
Are you interested in art?
Not really. I'm more interested in real life, in people.
So, you don't know Albrecht Dürer?
Just because I'm not interested in art doesn't mean that I'm ignorant.
What can you tell me about him?
Books, my dear, books. In them, you'll find the answers to all your questions, even the most foolish ones.
I bet you don't know anything about him and you just want to cover it up.
Ah, you want to appeal to my honor. Too obvious, I'm afraid.
May I take my leave?
You may.
Okay, there's the but look, Guernica equal. That's it, but I could. Okay, there, but Guernica. That's it, but I could. A deal?
Yes?
About the combination.
Yes.
Alberto Durero.
What about him?
What's his most famous work?
Hard to say. He did a lot. He was a pioneer of woodcuts and printmaking.
The Baroness left his monogram as a hint, and that...
Oh, himself.
That's it. The artist is the art.
Sounds logical. His most famous self-portrait is in the Prado in Madrid. I saw it with my own eyes 2 years ago.
Does Madrid have something like a heraldic animal?
Sure, it's a bear. It's on the coat of arms and all over the city.
A bear again? Like...
What?
That the bear... All... Now, I've got the combination. At least, I think I have.
Ha! That's my girl.
I'm going to steal the eye now. When I come back, we can...
Her.
I'll be... Don't waste all the...
Never.
Oh my god.
Baroness von Tribitz? Are you okay? Hello? Baroness? Hello?
Adele,
What happened?
the Baroness. Blood everywhere.
But who?
I don't know. Inch?
That doesn't make any sense.
Don't move. Zellner, up here. We've got our shadow. How are you?
I do nothing. Me crew.
Sure you are. What are you doing here?
Just fresh air.
Sure. You just wanted to get a breath of fresh air. Zellner, look who we have here.
Well, if that's not our shadow.
And our stowaway.
Were you recently traveling via trunk?
Nothing.
He claims to be part of the crew. Just wanted to get some fresh air.
Oh, sure. And you obviously didn't attack me either, did you?
The Baroness won't open the door, sir.
Understood. Take him to the detention cell, Robert. We'll talk later, my friend.
What is? Did nothing.
Inspector Legrand thinks otherwise. Move!
But I have... Gunshot!
I know that! Get moving! Into the cell!
Ah! Hello? It wasn't my fault.
What wasn't your fault? That you were walking around the ship? That you let them catch you? That you endangered the whole plan? That you endangered me?
I didn't kill anyone. They arrested me purely by coincidence. They'll have to turn me loose in Cairo. I mean, someone was killed, weren't they? I heard a shot. Why won't you answer?
I'm having a conversation that you cannot hear.
What happened last night?
The Baroness was murdered.
Did you?
No. If it were up to me, she'd have had an accident in a couple of weeks. Instead, someone shot the old bat in the heart point blank.
Are we calling it off?
No. Mr. X is ready, and as her surviving representative, I should be able to move about freely in the museum. The old hag's death doesn't change anything.
How did you get in here?
I'm more than capable of finding the entrance to a cargo hold. Indeed, it was child's play. It's not as though I had to crawl through ventilation shafts or anything so gauche.
So, what do we do now? I could escape, and...
Swim to Cairo.
So, I stay here and wait?
They'll arrest you in Cairo and question you about the murder. Even if they don't throw you in jail, it'll take days.
And if we find the murderer, then they'd have no reason to hold me.
Oh, I'm one step ahead of you. Nervous? I would be if I were you. This Zellner chap wasn't part of the plan. I don't like it.
He's groping about in the dark. Legrand is the real problem.
Still, I'm going to take him out of the picture.
How?
Dr. Gebhardt killed the Baroness. A clever old man, but not clever enough to keep me from finding out.
So you just have to tip Legrand off, and then I'm as good as free.
That's what I thought at first, but then I thought, why waste the opportunity? I put Zellner on the trail of the good doctor. He'll drive Gebhardt into a corner, and when he lashes out in desperation, he might hit our Swiss friend. Maybe even Legrand, if we're really lucky.
You can't do that. The old fella's just doing his job.
And so am I.
Inch. Enough blood has been shed. Inch. No more deaths. Damn! I have to get out of here and warn Constable Zellner. clock looks pretty modern. I didn't sleep. I guess this... It's not the most impregnable prison. Like everything, but there's still a very... It fits perfectly in the... It fits perfect. It fits. Someone... They're... I've seen, but it would... I've seen movies, but it wouldn't help. The blanket got caught on the nail. A board and a nail. I think it's working. Ha! One down. I'll hang it back on the frame, and if I'm lucky, no one will notice my escape. I assume that I can't use... Before I went to London to become Inch's protege, Alex and I drove through the French River. It was a one... but this is... There's nothing in the car. Fire still poses a... These hoses are pretty versatile. They'll do at a pinch if you can't smuggle climbing ropes into the building you're planning to rob. Good height for attaching something to the hook. A grate. Sunlight's shining through it. A good height for attaching something. No, that doesn't make any sense. I tied the hose. No, that doesn't make... That's not gonna get... That's not gonna... this could be... The bars are welded at 4... No, that doesn't make any... That's not gonna get... That's not gonna get... I tied the hose to the hook. No, that doesn't make it... No, that doesn't make any sense. Shelves for storing and securing cargo. And fast. I tied the hose. No, that doesn't make... I tied... No, that doesn't make it... Shelves for storing and securing cargo. Huh. You could attach ropes. It's set into the... No, that won't... No, that won't work. What's this? Whoa, heavy. Everything's a bit bigger. Here goes nothing. Louder than I expected. I hope no one noticed. With luck, I'll be able to warn the others about the doctor before it's too late. No! Ugh! Hey, you all right? That bastard didn't inject the fatal dose. You'll be back on your feet soon enough. Better take it easy while I... Oh, no! I'll be right back. I can see
No! Why? Can't you just leave me alone? Stay there.
Just relax.
Why can't you just leave me alone? It is always the same old story.
What old stories?
I am a decent man. Why are you torturing me? I loved her. She betrayed me. It was her fault. I have blood on my hands because of her.
Are you talking about the Baroness?
She was her sister. I loved her. With all my heart. They were Jewish, you know? But I didn't care about that. I hid them when it became dangerous for them. I looked after them. I brought them food. I was a party member. And still, I hid her and her whole family.
You risked your life for a woman you loved. And 30 years later, you murder her sister?
I saw her swollen belly. I was so angry. He was one of them, you know? They just used me. I hid them, brought them food, and in return they laughed about me behind my back.
What did you do?
There are Jews hiding in the basement of the Waldhof. Armed Jews. We have to burn them out. And that's what they did.
Come down from there.
Why? So you can kill me?
I'm not gonna kill anyone.
Or pack me off to an Egyptian prison? Or an Israeli prison? No.
What do you expect? You had an entire family put to death.
I am a gentleman. And I expect that others... that they don't.
She didn't love you and was expecting a child by another man. And that's why you betrayed her.
It was her fault. She shouldn't have cheated on me. I saved her. I risked my life for her every day for 4 months.
And then you threw it all away and became a murderer.
I am not. I am...
Yeah, well, the dead Baroness in the ship's hold proves the opposite.
I had never met her. Back in East Prussia, she was the older sister, the smart sister. She studied art history in New York, tried to get her family out of East Prussia, but I was able to prevent that.
You say you loved her, and yet you wanted to deny her and her family a safe life.
They were safe. I protected them. It was for their sake that I joined the party. I had contacts. I wrapped them in my protective embrace.
You didn't let her escape because you wanted to keep her close to you.
She sent photos to her sister before the war. She must have recognized me yesterday in Venice. I certainly recognized her.
The Baroness was searching through her photos. That's true.
She couldn't get me during the war. And after the war, I disappeared. Gave myself a new name, a new resume, a new life. And then, suddenly, there she was. About to ruin everything.
So, she had to die.
I didn't want that. But she gave me no choice. Why did she have to stir up old ghosts?
All right now.
No. It ends. Here and now.
Why do you want to kill yourself?
Isn't it obvious? He can't bear his false, hollow life anymore.
Who are you? What do you want?
A man who understands etiquette and honor, and yet is nothing but a coward himself, who, because of wounded vanity, burdens himself with immense guilt.
Don't come any closer.
The Baroness held a mirror up to you, didn't she, Doctor? And you hated what you saw there. So you smashed the mirror. But the sins of the past are catching up with you now, aren't they?
No.
A scowl with empty eyes full of fear.
Stop it.
Oh, dear, you really know how to dampen the mood. I almost had him. And you? Aren't you supposed to follow orders? Are you not here to assist me?
I won't.
That wasn't a question.
I don't want any dead bodies.
The same old story. You want success, but you don't want to get your hands dirty.
Isn't the Raven famous for that?
I do what's necessary.
No!
No. What is it then? You wanted to jump anyway, or you should at least.
Inch?
I'm just lending a friendly hand. He's a coward. He needs a bit of motivation. Come on now, chop, jump!
You are the Baroness's butler, aren't you? I did not want to kill your mistress.
Oh, nonsense. Forgiven and forgotten, if you don't mind my asking.
There must be another solution.
Why are you doing this?
Nothing personal. Well, that's not entirely true. You're a miserable excuse for a human being, aren't you? But mainly, you're a means to an end. Your death will get Inspector Legrand off our backs.
The inspector? What do I have to do with him?
Your letter. The one in which you confess to being the Raven and to killing the Baroness because she saw through your ruse.
That's absurd.
Indeed it is. But people will believe almost anything if it suits them. The press will love it. Bold Inspector Legrand saves the day again. Interviews, medals, urgent telegrams from the capital. Our dear friend won't be able to escape the limelight. And by the time the commotion has ended, I'll be long gone.
You can't kill him.
Why not? He's a bastard, his death will help us, and he's a witness. If we let him go, we'll both go to jail.
All the same, we're not going to kill him. You got us into this situation, and as long as I'm alive, I won't let anyone be killed in my presence.
No.
I have to do the dirty work for you in the museum, so you won't be shooting me, or him.
Very well, you win. What? Never speak to me like that again. Do you understand? I need you to steal the eye, but one day I could be overwhelmed by a feeling of hatred that will make me forget the eye. And there are worse things I could do than simply shoot you. I suggest you go back to your cell. You need to be fit for Cairo. I still have a confession to write.
The last act. The end of the Raven. Part of me wants to abandon the whole plan and go back to Europe. What if something goes wrong and Legrand catches on? I couldn't bear it if something happened to her. I can't afford to slip up.
Mr. Jamal, I'm glad you could make it.
Let's get this over with.
Still angry on account of the good doctor?
You disgust me.
You'll be rid of me in less than 2 hours, and I of you.
What happens next?
My diversion worked wonderfully. The press has laid siege to the French embassy, and Legrand won't be able to escape them. He should arrive in a few minutes with the safe, and then he'll have to answer ridiculous questions from reporters all afternoon.
That's why we're striking now.
A regrettable necessity. I would have preferred to make my grand entrance this evening at the gala. But yes, we will strike as soon as the safe is in the treasure chamber and Legrand has left.
Have you already met your Mr. X?
He's counting an envelope of unmarked bills as we speak. He put the blueprints under the statue of Imhotep.
Blueprints?
A sketch of the museum, not the kind you can get just anywhere. This one shows secret entrances, basements, and attic rooms that the resistance used during the war.
That's what it was about.
Get the blueprints. There's a basement below the treasure chamber. The entrance should be marked on the blueprints. Open it and give me a sign.
What's the next step?
You'll find out when it's time.
But... Will there be more deaths here in the museum?
If you follow my instructions, no.
If people are in danger, I'll call the whole thing off.
I don't kill for fun, only when it's necessary.
Is it ever really necessary?
Sometimes. Revenge, for example, when one has been betrayed.
All right then, I'll pay a visit to Imhotep and we'll meet in the basement.
Good monkey. Oh, and by the way, the museum is closed to visitors until tomorrow.
Then how...
You'll find a way.
Interesting. I hope the own craftsman... Nope. The handbrake is on. Nope. The handbrake is on. Who's a good dog? Yeah, who's a good dog then?
The museum is closed today. Come back tomorrow.
But there are visitors in the museum.
Carefully selected by Director Mokhtar. Or they have an invitation.
Is there any chance of getting such an invitation?
For you? No.
Can you please let me in? My ship sails tonight, and I can't leave Egypt without having seen a mummy.
Get yourself a shovel and head for the desert. Maybe you'll get lucky.
Never mind. See you later.
Better luck next time, huh?
You're too kind. I have to improvise if I want. Oh, nothing. Do I need an umbrella in Cairo? Or could it help me get into the museum? A rod like that could be useful. I could probably reach the door lock with the rod, but how's it supposed to catch hold? Locked. I could probably reach the... I don't want to crawl through stinking sewers. Nothing. I can't even touch the bottom. It was worth a try.